Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. My fellow XRP community members, I have bought cryptocurrency again. I haven't bought crypto since, man, it's probably since late October of last year, maybe early November, somewhere thereabout. And I just decided, okay, my bags are packed, give me alt season. Now, we've not seen alt season to this point, but it doesn't mean that these cryptocurrencies are not going to fly. At some point, I believe inevitably, we're going to see some crazy positive price action. I know that the market's in extreme fear right now. That will not last forever. The market will go back to greed and then ultimately extreme greed. That's what I'm certainly counting on. Again, I've been saying for days on end now, because we're in scare times right now. I get that. Everybody's scared. I mean, I personally am not, but I understand why people are scared. It's just the case that markets the world over, not just crypto markets, but look at the stocks. Stocks have been tanking. Crypto follows stocks. This is not surprising. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with crypto. It's not like humans are like, oh gosh, after these 13 years, maybe we don't need cryptocurrencies. Maybe the magic internet doesn't make no damn sense. No. It's nothing like that. It's just crypto following stocks. This is completely irrational behavior, just like we've seen for over a decade. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good, because this is territory that has been explored before. Now, not that everything's going to be exactly the same now as has happened in the past. Obviously, with this recent market cycle, we didn't see an alt season, right? And so if this is the beginning of a new market cycle, if we're in a bear market right now, then that's something that's different. Doesn't mean that it's not going to go. Humans still are acting pretty similarly to how they've been behaving for the entirety of this asset class. So in that sense, I'm not worried at big picture stuff. But look, my bags were packed. I didn't think I'd be buying more crypto until after alt season ultimately happened, but and prices did go up to some degree, but then they tanked, and you know what's happened the last week or so in particular. It's gotten bloody out there. And so while people were freaking out, I actually started to get really excited. I was like, wow, I didn't think that I'd have time to buy more at these prices. In fact, some of the cryptocurrencies that I potentially would have bought more of, I stopped because the price was going up. And at some point I was just like, okay, I can't keep chasing this. I don't know exactly how it's going to go. So I just kind of cut myself off. But now some of those prices have come back down to about where I was purchasing them like over a year ago. And I was like, okay, I'm interested again. I'm excited about this. And that would scare most people, but that's because most people are irrational humans that are making emotional buying and selling decisions, and I'm simply not doing that. I've removed emotion from this. I'm basically an XRP bot, a simple robot. Beep, boop, beep. So I'll share with you a couple of the cryptos that I bought, but that does not mean go buy what Moon Lambo bought. I'm just a dude. Like, there's nothing special about me just because I run a YouTube channel. Like, I'm just a dude. Understand, I'm just a dude on the internet. So I'm happy to share this information, but this does not mean run out and buy stuff just because I bought it. Also, just to be clear, I am not being paid to talk about the cryptos that I'm talking about. If I ever were to have a paid sponsor, which I've never done on this channel, just because it's a hobby, although I'm not opposed to necessarily doing something like that in the future, but if I ever were to be paid for anything, I would be transparent about that. I don't think I'm ever going to take money to endorse a cryptocurrency, but if there were anything, I'm only mentioning this just so that there aren't any questions as to what's going on here, but happy to talk about this stuff. I just want to be super duper clear. And also, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. So again, you should definitely not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. Just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, as I record this, XRP is up 15%, over 15% within the last 24 hours. It's good to see some green again. I don't know if the bottom's in for this most recent precipitous drop what we've seen for most of the last week, but it's nice to see a little bit of green, right? XRP at 43 cents, Bitcoin at $30,256, market cap for the asset class up to 1.3 trillion, Bitcoin dominance at 43.85%. And so I tweeted this out today. I wrote, I know people are freaking out, but I'm not. I just bought more cryptocurrencies this afternoon. Zoom out. And it wasn't XRP. XRP is my largest cryptocurrency holding by a fair bit. It's my favorite cryptocurrency on the entire planet for reasons that I've been sharing for a number of years at this point. I'm happy to talk about that. I'm very excited about it. It's just amazing to have a cryptocurrency that just freaking works. We don't have to argue about, how to improve it to get it to work better for payments. It's a great cryptocurrency for payments. just broadly speaking. We don't have to worry about block size or this or that because it's already blazing fast. It costs fractions of a penny for individual transactions, so it's basically free. All these problems that you have with most cryptos on layer 1, you don't have with XRP. And so given how rare that is, that also is, by the way, to be clear, that's a huge part of the reason that it's been in the top 10 cryptos by market cap for its entire existence. There are only 3 cryptos on the planet that can say that: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. That's it. And there's so little money out of those 3. There's so little money in XRP comparatively. There's such, I believe anyway, potential upside. Like that's just, it's going to be life-changing for so many people. And so that's why I recognize this, and I've made my bet. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. I think it's going to be worth a fortune in the future, and so I have stocked up accordingly. But there are other cryptocurrencies, and I'll share with you a couple that I haven't ever shared with you that I have purchased. My second largest cryptocurrency in terms of holdings is actually a little cryptocurrency called HBAR. Here you go, Hedera Hashgraph. This is what's on your screen right now. This is one of the 2 that I purchased today, and I haven't bought HBAR in, gosh, it would have been probably the beginning of March of last year. So it's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 14 months since I had, probably a little over 14 months since I had actually purchased it. I'd have to go back to look to be sure, but it's something like that. And so I had been purchasing it for months leading up to that point, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly how long, but I think the highest I had purchased it back then anyway, it was at a price of, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 cents, somewhere around there. And so when I saw yesterday that it had dropped down to 7 cents, and then, I guess it was technically yesterday, because by the time I was looking at it, it was up to 9 cents. I was like, you know what, this is like about where I stopped purchasing it. It's a little bit below where I stopped purchasing. I was like, I'm enticed again. I was like, I haven't bought this in forever. The market's low. These prices aren't going to stay this low forever. And so I threw a notable chunk of change at this. I bought it, and my price when I got it was right at 9.1 cents, and now it's up to 10 cents currently. But which is, again, towards the upper end of where I was purchasing it. Again, like I said, I can't remember if it was 10, 11, maybe it was 12 cents. I can't remember exactly, but eventually it got high enough where I was like, okay, well, I've been stocking up for X amount of months. I'm finished now. That's it. Wait for alt season. And then, of course, alt season hasn't come to this point. To me, it's just an inevitability that there's going to be a frenzy around altcoins at some point. That's what I'm betting on anyway. Nobody knows for sure. But anyway, I was just like, okay, set it and forget it, just like XRP. And it did run. Hedera, look at it. Look at HBAR. It ran up to all-time high of 56 cents. And so I don't know exactly what my average price was, but again, on the higher end, I purchased it for, whatever it was, 10, 11, 12 cents, ran up to 56 cents, and I didn't sell any of it because I still think that it's probably at some point in the future going to be worth a lot more than that. I'm just a long-term guy. It's like, no, I don't care. I'm emotionless about this. That's not where I want to sell it. So it trades sideways for a bit, and then it went down, and it's back at the point where it's about where I purchased it. And so you could say, well, in hindsight, what an idiot, Moon Lambo, you could have sold it. I was like, yeah. We're not going to play the children's game here of hindsight. Yeah, and if I had the winning lottery numbers ahead of time, then I'd be a multi-millionaire many times over every single week, okay? That's a children's game. You don't know. And so I know where I'll be enticed to sell, and probably wouldn't start dollar cost averaging out of HBAR until it's at least around the $2 zone. But this is what it is as far as I'm concerned to be in crypto. I have the most unsophisticated strategy on the planet, and I think it's better than what most people do, which is get in and out of positions. Some people are traders. All of them lose money. I just don't do that. I just hold. And I did the same thing with XRP. My strategy for XRP is, look, I've never sold a single XRP. I first purchased XRP November 17th, 2017. Again, not sold a single XRP since that time. And after the bear market began, beginning of 2018, after XRP hit its top near $4, I started dollar cost averaging in a little bit later in the year, around 55 cents, and then it kept dropping. So I bought it 50 cents, 45, 40, all the way down to where it was mostly around the 20-something cent region for some period of time. And so that's what I did that for a number of years. And so for XRP, and I've said this before, I was at break even or losing money for most of the first 3 years that I held XRP. Okay, and then even then when it finally went above towards above where I had purchased it, I think my average price probably around 25 cents. It ran up to towards the end of 2020 close to 80 cents. And that was an exciting time. I enjoyed making my YouTube videos and engaging with people on social media about it. It was a fun time because we hadn't seen that in forever. It had been so many years, so it was exciting to see that. But then it did drop below again, where I bought in. So I was at a loss again after the SEC came after Ripple, claiming it was an unregistered security. Got down to 16 cents. I was like, well, that was fun while it lasted. But now I still continue to hold my XRP. I still didn't panic sell. And then it went up to $2. But still, that's not where I want it to be for me to sell. So I'm Mr. Patient. I'm just waiting this out. I've been through all of the volatility. It doesn't bother me. It does not scare me. And the people that it does bother, they're more prone to use the emotion to make important financial decisions, buying and selling. I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that. I think that XRP is going to be worth an absolute fortune. Nobody knows for sure what that means, but how high XRP is going to go. But I think it's going to be. I think HBAR too. At some point, it's going to be worth way, way, way more than this. I think it's going to blast past its all-time high. And so when I saw the prices this low, I understand people are panic selling. I'm like, no, this is time for me to buy. This is exactly what I'm doing. And here's the other one. The other one I purchased was Algorand, and I stopped purchasing this one for about the same time I stopped purchasing HBAR, if memory serves. I'm pulling from memory, admittedly. But I'm at a loss on this one. But that's why I bought more. Like, the market's suppressed now. You understand how this works. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Everybody's fearful, so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy. That's exactly how this works. But I bought a number of times over $1, and now I got to buy, whenever I bought it earlier today, I can't remember now, it's like 41 cents, whatever it was. It's now up to 47 cents. And an important thing to keep in mind here is that whenever you purchase a cryptocurrency, it's virtually a 100% chance that at some unknown point in the future, it could be soon, it could be way later, at some unknown point in the future, your cryptocurrency will be worth less than what you paid for it. But you don't know when, and so all you can do really is just hold and not worry and just continue to dollar cost average in. That's why I dollar cost average into XRP for literally years on end. For XRP specifically, it was at a point where I was buying very regularly. I guess it's sometimes weekly. Yeah, I think that's what I was doing, actually. It's been a while now, actually. I don't recall. I'd have to go back and look at my transactions, I suppose. But it was, I just had a separate, whatever, XRP's up, I buy. XRP's down, I buy. That was my deal. Until it went parabolic, and then my whole deal is when it does that, I stop. And so it's just, that's kind of what it takes in my mind in order to get through all this stuff. Because you can even think about with Bitcoin. Like, I think Bitcoin's going to be worth way more in the future, but it's been trading for the last year and a half, for the most part, between $30,000 to $60,000. I think those price levels, that seems like a wide range. I don't think that's going to matter in the future. So just like XRP's been trading over the last couple years between 11 cents and $2, that's not going to matter. Or zoom out a little even further than that. Go back to the last market cycle. You could say it was trading at say 11 cents to even its all-time high near $4. You can even talk about that range, and I'm still like, right. But that's going to look like nothing in the future if it's really going to be worth, what if it is worth over $100 at some point in the future? I mean, there's enough money on the planet to make that happen. I don't know for sure if that's going to happen. But man, I'm just saying, me looking at these prices, finally, they went down. Like the price went down, and most people, they're panic selling, and I got excited in a very positive way. I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and buy more. Because understand also, I'm putting in money that I don't need to live. Okay, in fact, if all of this went away, I mean, it would be disappointing. I would admittedly be sad if I was wrong about all this and I end up losing everything. Okay, it'd be disappointing, but it's not going to wreck me. It's not going to destroy me. I only put in what I'm willing to lose. And also, I don't need to pull this out. So here's the people that are going to have trouble. It's like, if you don't have a sufficient amount of money saved up just in case, what if something happens and bad happens and you lose your job, we're going into scary times in terms of the economy, or if you're actually retired. But I don't think a bunch of retired people are putting an insane amount of their money into crypto. I mean, some retired people, yeah, you'll put a really tiny small percentage, in which case the volatility is not going to destroy you anyway. So I don't think that crypto's really going to necessarily hurt. It hurts people that choose to sell at a loss. But I just think, let this go long enough, it's going to be worth way more in the future. And I still do think, yes, at some point, most coins They will go the way of the dodo, my favorite extinct avian creature. But right now, it still looks like the market's just moving in tandem. So all of this, the downward price action we've been seeing, it doesn't faze me. Because again, I know it has nothing to do with some sort of fault in the crypto asset class on the whole. Like nothing has changed compared to where we were a week ago from a fundamental perspective. It's just that stocks tanked and crypto followed. It's pretty much that simple. That's what's been happening, which has resulted in this. If you look at the crypto fear and greed index, it's at 10 out of 100 now. You know, so it is what it is. And take a look at this tweet too from attorney Jeremy Hogan. He's talking about stuff a little bit price action-y. And here, I'll share this. I'll make this chart he shared full screen. But he tweeted out the following. See the chart at the first blue arrow? That was Amazon crashing after the dot-com bubble by over 500%. The second blue arrow is the Great Recession crash, losing 55%. Crashes happen. Know what you own, and you will be fine with time. And you can see what he's for those of you looking at the screen. If you look at the first blue arrow, again, that's Amazon crashing. It's the dot-com boom and bust. It looks like nothing. So at the time, it looked like a monstrous mountain. If you zoomed in on that, it looked like an absolute mountain. But now you zoom out enough, you can see it didn't matter. And here in this is the second blue arrow. This is the Great Recession, 2008, 2009 era. You can't even see it. And then look what happened afterwards. It's like all this time, the price of the stock went down while the fundamentals were getting better. It's like, well, that's what I see with XRP lately. Price has been going down lately, has nothing to do with long-term viability, like zero to do with it. So I'm excited. And so look, again, why am I not buying XRP? Because it's my number one holding already, and I'd rather diversify further. That really is it. So, you know me and XRP, my ride or die, son. That's what it is for me. And then somebody named Bill asked Jeremy, respectfully, Jeremy, what are you driving at? XRP, U.S. equity markets? And Jeremy wrote the following. Well, if you already hold XRP, it's probably because you understand it and think it's going to have utility and value in the future. So, just saying, don't sweat this dip. In 5 years, it will be a teeny tiny little ding in the road. We understand this because we have gray hair. That's pretty good. So anyway, as far as what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging in. If I see big dips, then I'll just like in that moment be like, okay, opportunity, go ahead and start buying. If we actually start climbing at this, and I bought closer to the bottom than was probable, then unfortunately I'm going to quit buying cryptocurrency very quickly. If it really starts climbing out, if it does go lower, I'm going to continue to dollar cost averaging, or if we're roughly trading sideways, I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging, and as long as HBAR is around here, same for Algorand, and I may be purchasing some others also. I only had time to get into these because these two for me were no-brainers. I knew that I wanted to expand my positions once I saw what's been going on here. And so again, I'm down in Algorand, and I'm thrilled that I got to buy at the lowest price today that I've ever bought Algo. That's awesome. Like I feel very good about it. And I don't care that my position's down, just like I never cared that my XRP position was down for those first 3 years. Oh, I mean, after August 18, that was the last time I had an emotional response to it. I've shared that story before. But yeah, just like with XRP, yeah, it was sideways, or basically at break even or down for years. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And right now I'm in the positive in XRP. And even if XRP dips below where I bought it again, I'm like, okay, whatever. It doesn't faze me. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with long-term viability. My bet hasn't changed. The calculus behind why I'm buying and selling hasn't changed. My bet after the bubble burst, XRP bubble burst on January 4th, 2018 was its all-time high. After that burst, and it was evident that it had burst, my bet was that at some unknown point in the future, again, there would be a new all-time high in price discovery. So either that's happening or it's going to zero. I'm going to be around for either one of those outcomes. Whatever happens, I'm here. That's it. And I think it's going to be worth way more in the future. So it doesn't matter to me because this has nothing to do with fundamentals or long-term viability of XRP or the crypto asset class. It has nothing to do with it. There's scary stuff going on in the world, and people are spooked in multiple markets, not just crypto, and it's moving in tandem. What the hell do I care? I know humans behave like that. I know they do. They've demonstrated it time and again in the stock market for over 100 years and in crypto for 13 years. This is not surprising. You should come to expect this. Just like when we saw the pandemic crash in March of 2020. It does not matter, son. So I'm excited about this, and I will continue to purchase at times where I think it looks good. But yeah, again, like I said, so what would get me to stop purchasing? Either capital that I intend to allocate runs out, which might happen if we trade sideways and down long enough. I may run out of the capital that I decided I'm willing to put into it, in which case, great, thumbs up. The only other thing that's going to get me to quit purchasing crypto again is if the market starts moving to the upside. But more likely than not, we've probably got some time. And I just, again, I got to insist that it doesn't make sense to worry about crypto becoming worth less after you purchase it. There's almost a 100% certainty that you did not buy the bottom. Look at a damn chart, son. It's obvious. Look at history. Pick a time. Pretend that you purchase at any point in time. Just pick a random calendar year. Pick it for Bitcoin, just because that's an easy one to do. Just put a tack in a chart. Print it up if you want to. Like, what if I had purchased there? Oh, I would have been down for sure. Like, pick any point in time. Pick a 12-month. Yes, you would have been down at some point. So what? That's what it is to invest in crypto. This is not surprising. It's a known factor, and it's not worth getting spooked over. So, anyway, I'll stop jabbering, I suppose. I just thought I'd share my thoughts on this because I know that people, and it's understandable. You're normal if you're feeling scared or down about all this stuff. I'm the weirdo, I guess, but I'm excited about this. Like, how could I not be? I didn't think I'd get this price for HBAR necessarily ever again. I didn't know that I would. I mean, I always knew it was possible, but this one in particular, this is my second largest holding. My gosh, I think that's going to be worth way more. So I'm stacking again. I feel great about that. And at some point, the market's going to get into a frenzy and we'll be in extreme greed. And I'm going to be here for it. And I'm also going to be here running this Moon Lambo channel with a silly-ass name, even during the very scary times. So you can always come here if you're ever feeling a little bit unsure about stuff. While I can't offer financial advice, and I never will, hopefully, if you come here, if you're feeling a little bit concerned about things, hopefully I can make you feel a little bit better, because I'm never going to have an emotional response to stuff like, it does not faze me. I'm not kidding. It used to, but it does not. It does not, and it never will ever again. I'll go ahead and wrap up there, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.